Hey film friends, I'm Nick Furman. This is Furman on Film. Welcome to the channel. All you have to do is follow 3 simple rules. 1. Never underestimate your opponent. Expect the unexpected. 2. Take it outside. Never start anything inside the bar unless it's absolutely necessary. And 3. Be nice. If somebody...
Nick.
Yeah.
That's the wrong Roadhouse, man.
There's only one Roadhouse, dude.
No, it's a new one. Jake Gyllenhaal, Conor McGregor.
McGregor? The UFC fighter? Seriously? You gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna check this out. Oh, look at that. This is Doug Liman's Roadhouse. You know, it's really an awful bit of film criticism to say that this one thing is not good because it's not that other thing. We gotta let works of art stand on their own 2 feet, if we could really call this art. However, when you craft a remake with a major star and call it the same name as a classic 80s action flick, well, I can't help but compare them. Besides, this one was made by Doug Liman. Here's a guy who has not made trash, especially with regard to action films. Liman is pretty well known by now for kind of finding his films as he goes along. Starting with some fragmented script, doing tons of rewrites and reshoots along the way, and eventually ending up with some final vision. When it works, and it often has, you get The Bourne Identity, Swingers, and The Edge of Tomorrow. And when it doesn't, you get Roadhouse. Now look, I'm gonna fully show my cards here. I adore the 1989 Patrick Swayze classic. Yes, you heard me right. It's a classic. It hit me at just the right time of my childhood. I watched it over and over again on TV. Kelly Lynch. I loved the single name Dalton, the deep timbre of Sam Elliott's voice, and Ben Gazzara as Brad Wesley is just one of the greatest villains ever. I mean, here's a guy who was in Anatomy of a Murder and a bunch of Cassavetes flicks. It's a true thespian just going full ham. Roadhouse is a story about a man who rolls into town preceded only by his legacy. Rather than wielding guns, he wields fists and bemused one-liners. A fistful of dollars and Yojimbo meets bar rock? It's like an old Western in new clothing. A fact that this new picture makes painfully and obviously aware to us. But I'm getting ahead of myself. There is plenty to praise here. The bar owner this time around is a total upgrade. Jessica Williams is spunky and awesome. And BK Cannon is a great sidekick as the snarky bartender. Arturo Castro sort of took over the role of Tinker and added this hilarious spin to it. And even Billy Magnuson is a perfectly serviceable bad guy. Of course, Gyllenhaal is as committed and unhinged as ever, pitching his Dalton somewhere between a cobra waiting to strike and Mr. Rogers. And some of Liman's kinetic style also lands too. He does his best Michael Mann Miami Vice impersonation in the 3rd act, and you'll love it if it's your thing. And the final Dalton versus McGregor showdown rips too. The film, while never transcendent, is also never less than easily watchable. Okay, let's start here. The dude's name is Elwood Dalton. Seriously? What the hell? What makes him so cool is the unknown quality of his nature. First name, last name, backstory. Who is he really? But this is the biggest issue with this new remake. Everything is so explicit, spelled out, and on the nose. Even the mystery of his past with the UFC is not that revelatory at all. The original hints at being this dusty Lone Ranger story, but in this one we literally have characters saying, "This sounds like the plot of a Western," several times. Show don't tell, guys. See, the 1989 Roadhouse works because it plays everything 1000% earnest. It's unintentionally funny in many places, but everyone involved is just fully going for it at all times. And here, the film is much more self-aware, and it's playing for laughs, but rarely ever getting them. You see this most clearly in the character portrayed by Conor McGregor. Great fighter, looks jacked, dude can't act. This man's butt cheeks do better line readings than him in this one. The writing and acting on so many of the biker henchmen is god-awful. Just awkward line reading galore. And honestly, I also prefer the old style of fighting, without the spinning cameras and frenetic cuts. which, let's be honest, really just hides and obscures some pretty terrible fight CGI. Rowdy Harrington was not a well-known director, but the stories of Swayze and Marshall Teague just going at it, play fighting on set for days on end. I mean, Swayze actually cracked a rib while filming. This is just the way they used to do it. It's like practical effects. And the throat rip scene in the first one is one of the best action scenes in cinema history. And nothing here comes close to those glorious heights. So, what do we conclude? Well, the new Roadhouse is a pretty mixed bag. Doug Liman brings his signature frenetic style to some solid action sequences. And there are noteworthy performances from a well-rounded cast, and Jake is always dialed in. But the movie falls short in narrative subtlety. Ultimately, its reliance on explicit storytelling and lackluster dialogue kind of hamper its overall punch. Well, there you have it. The only thing left to discuss is our rating for this picture. FOF gives Roadhouse 2.2 out of 5 stars. If you enjoyed this review, please let us know by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Also, don't forget to visit FurmanOnFilm.com for even more movie content. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Furman. This is Furman on Film. Stay firm, my friends.